What's up, fight fans? I just saw, arguably, so far this year anyway, one of the fights of the year. And it's going to take a lot to beat that fight. I think it was a fantastic fight, and that was a fight between Jarrett Hurd and Erislandy Lara. Remember, they was fighting for the IBF, the IBO, and the WBA super welterweight titles, so it was a unification fight. And Jarrett Hurd won it by split decision. I watched that fight now twice. I watched it at nearly 6 a.m. and I've watched it again just now. And first time I watched it, I scored it to Hurd. Second time I watched it, I had Lara by 1. Guarantee the third time I watch it, I'm going to have it a draw. That's how close that fight was, and it was a fantastic, fantastic fight. It really was. I was watching that fight, and I knew who was going to win after round 2. I knew that Jarrett Hurd was going to walk him down, and I actually thought he might stop Lara. And the reason being, I was watching that fight, and I was having nightmare flashbacks of Antonio Margarito versus Miguel Cotto, the first fight, when Miguel Cotto looked so slick, landing counters and pot shots, and Margarito was just walking them down, walking through them, eating them like Pac-Man. And it just brought back memories of that fight. Jarrett Hurd is Margarito 2.0, without a doubt. And that means there's things there that he needs to work on that he probably never ever will work on. He eats punches, right? He takes a shot, which is never good in boxing, but that's just his style. His footwork is somewhat embarrassing. I think a couple of times yesterday he nearly tripped over himself. But he will walk you down. And that there can't be anything more demoralizing for a fighter who's landing shots than a fighter just eating them and walking you down. Mentally, that must be extremely difficult to take. And that is exactly what he was doing with Lara yesterday. Lara is one of the best boxers in boxing. Really is. He's a pure boxer. But unfortunately, what he probably hasn't had over the years is good punch power. This is a guy that has 25 wins, but only 14 KOs, which is a bad KO record. But against someone like Hurd, you need a bit more than that. Because Hurd was just, again, walking him down. I don't know, and I still don't know, how on earth Hurd makes 154. I have absolutely no idea. There were a few fighters back in the day. I don't know if you guys remember a guy called Mike Jones. He's a fighter that was supposed to fight Kell Brook. Everyone was talking about him, but he got stopped by Randall Bailey. Do you remember him? 147 fighter. I remember thinking, how the hell does he make 147? But he had skinny legs. So it made sense, right? Paul Williams, another one. Again, very skinny frame. Very tall, but skinny frame. Hurd just looks big. Like, his whole physique is big. Like, he must start at about 200 pounds easy. He must do. And it's almost cheating. It's almost cheating because I don't know what he walks into the ring as. The IBF used to do that kind of rehydration clause that you couldn't rehydrate to a certain amount. There was no way they were doing it in this fight. Because Jarrett Hurd came into that ring, I'm guessing, at about something ridiculous like 180. I'd have to guess, because it almost looks unfair at times. He just is a massive 154-pound fighter. And I think he's probably, since 154-pound was introduced, I can't remember when it was introduced, he's probably the biggest 154-pound fighter I've ever seen in my life. And he is going to cause problems for any of them because he's just that big. It's, like I said, it's an unfair advantage. Obviously, we want to see him now in against Jermell Charlo, the current WBC super welterweight champion. He was ringside. He's done some interviews after saying, look, it's easy work. It's not easy work, Charlo. It really isn't easy work. Again, you can definitely hit and hurt Hurd, but you've got to have something special. You've got to have some superpower to keep this kid off. And again, Charlo's got a decent knockout record of recent, but he only has a 50% KO record. And I don't know if that's enough. Lara, for me, was the best boxer in the division. But you've got to be a good boxer and puncher to stop this kid. Tony Bellew tweeted and said that Kell Brook would cause him problems. Tony Bellew must be drunk. I understand his allegiance to UK fighters, but there is absolutely no way that Kell Brook is causing this kid problems. Kell Brook's a good boxer, don't get me wrong. But again, Hurd will walk him down. This guy is Margarito 2.0, people. I've seen it now. Not great footwork. Again, not great head movement. But if you don't have that huge equalizer, then you're in trouble. And I mean like a GGG equalizer, a punch that literally will stop him in his tracks. I don't know what next for Lara. He's 34. TV never really liked him. He got paid $1 million for that fight. He's never going to get that kind of money again, I don't think. He's had some good paydays. I think Alvarez was probably a good payday. Trout was a good payday. Paul Williams back in the day was a good payday. But he's going to have to make some decisions. I think he could make a move to 160. He'll be a small 160, but because he's still a good boxer, he probably could do some damage in the 160-pound division. Lara's got 3 defeats on the record, and you could make an argument for all 3 that he might have won all 3. Hurd yesterday, you can make an argument that he won that by a round. You could. Alvarez as well. And definitely he beat Paul Williams. So he's been unlucky. He's got some good wins on the record, Angulo and Trout. But when it's all said and done, I wonder how people will look back on Lara. I wonder how they would. There was a time when everyone wanted to see him fight Floyd Mayweather. Everyone wanted to see him fight Gennady Golovkin. He's 34 now, and I kind of wonder if that might be it. He'll take some time off, but I think a good move could be 160. I really do. But guys, I really want to know what you make of Jarrett Hurd. I really do, because I think this guy is a freak of nature to get down to 154. But I also think, again, I'll repeat this, Margarito 2.0, the way he walks you down and will beat you up. It's a bit frightening. If he can work on his boxing skills, he's only 27. If he can work on his boxing skills, then that fight against Charlo, if it is made, is going to be fantastic. Because he's a problem. He's a big, big problem. And not just at 154, I'm talking at 160. He's bigger than the 160s. Look at the pre-fight press conference for this card. There's a bit where he's sitting next to James DeGale. Don't tell me he's not as big as James DeGale, who's 168. This guy's a huge guy, and I think he's cheating. I think he should stay in his weight class, which is probably 175 or something. I don't know.